Howdy, folks. I'm Eric Williams, and welcome to CapeCast, the official webcast of the Cape Cod Times. It's a dark day for Barnstable and Cape Cod, and maybe the world. Siobhan Magnus was booted off American Idol last night. How do people feel? Let's find out.
CapeCast.
Well, Alan, a rough night last night. How do you feel about all this?
Well, I have mixed emotions about it. I'm going to be really glad to see my daughter sooner than I thought. After a performance Tuesday night, I was so sure that she was going to make it to the top 5 that I was about to go to bed. You know, we thought we had it in the bag, but I guess you never do. You never know.
Boy, you're sitting there on the couch, and it starts getting down to where it got to. What's your emotion when you first hear that she's leaving the show?
Well, I first thought about my little girls. They burst into tears, and they haven't stopped crying since. It was a really rough night. It is what it is, you know.
Now, did you get a chance to talk to Siobhan, and if so, what did she say?
No, I didn't actually. I talked to her boyfriend. I talked to my other daughter, Emily, who's out there, fortunately, with her grandmother, her aunt, and her great-aunt. Siobhan was feeling the effects and a little tired. She didn't want to talk right then. Which is completely understandable.
Boy, what did the family say she was going through out there? What did you get from them?
She was actually taking it better than the rest of them. My daughter Emily was very angry. Unfortunately, she just wanted to see her sister immediately, and they wouldn't let her backstage, and she was a little peeved about that. But I get from the others that Siobhan took it fairly well, and like I said, you know, it's sad, but it's happy too. You know, she's done a wonderful thing. I'll get to see her sooner than I thought. We can sit down and have some chicken nuggets and some French fries, which she's been craving because apparently they don't know how to make a good chicken nugget out there. No, I don't know.
Hollywood.
What do they know about chicken nuggets?
More with Alan Magnus in a moment. But first, we check in at Barnstable High School. Here we are at Barnstable High School, Siobhan's school. What's the mood like here this morning?
Somber and surprised. And I came in this morning like I wore blue in support of her, and then thought about it and said, you know something? I'm putting on my Siobhan, I voted for Siobhan t-shirt, because I did. I voted for her, and I thought she was going to go so much further.
We still love her, though, right?
Absolutely. I feel that no matter what happens, she's going to come out on top.
Pat, please just give us the bright side of all this stuff.
The bright side is Siobhan. And she didn't sell herself out. She stayed true to herself. That's my message to our students today. We are so proud of her. She didn't give in. She did what she had to do, and we love her.
Let's go back to last night. You're watching, like I'm watching. We're on the edge of our couches. What'd you feel when she got the boot?
I was dumbfounded. But again, Siobhan was who she was. The first thing she did, she hugged her family. That's what it's all about.
Siobhan came from the school here. The kids were paying close attention. What were you able to get across to them about this whole thing?
I talked to a group of students today who hang out in the lobby here in the morning, and they were lamenting, you know, Siobhan's. I can't call it a loss. It's all a win. And my message to them was, she is you. She never sold out. She walked to a beat of a different drummer, and I hope she continues to do that.
Margaret, we're looking for a silver lining. A rough night last night with Siobhan leaving American Idol. How do you feel about the whole thing?
I feel she was cheated, that teenage girls were voting for Aaron and Casey, and just everyone had their voting blocks, and she was too different for most people.
For you as a high school senior, is there sort of a lesson, something you can take away from the way Siobhan went through this whole thing?
I think she went through it bravely, and that everybody should try to be more like her, try more to be themselves than to be what they think people will vote for.
When you look ahead, do you see Siobhan having a great career in music?
She's never going to be a glass blower again, I know that.
Marcia, lay it on us. How you feeling about last night?
I have such mixed feelings. I am so sad. I couldn't believe that it was her and Siobhan and Casey. Not to take away from Casey, but when we think about musicality, he's not the first guy I go to. I go to Siobhan for the musicality factor. All in all, she's going to have an amazing career. She's going to be able to go from this experience and get a recording contract, be in the studio. From everything I've been hearing, she's been amazing in the studio. And all of her recordings on iTunes have been phenomenal. So this is where she's going to shine. She's going to be able to do her own artistry at this point.
Did you get the idea she was homesick when you did speak with her?
Oh, very, and she particularly misses her little sisters, of course, and they just pine for her every day. It breaks your heart, it really does.
Well, she'll be back soon, and then we've got the Idol tour this summer. Do you have any idea what else might be in the works for Siobhan at this point?
A lot of different things. She's been approached by many different operations, all genres of singing. She could take to the stage. She's looking at a couple of companies that want to buy her contract out. Sky's the limit. This is pretty good.
So it's back here to Cape Cod for a little well-needed R&R. Say hello to the folks, and then launching out into the big world.
Yeah, she's gonna go far. She definitely won't be working at a burger stand.
Geez, Alan, how proud are you, man?
It's crazy. I just can't describe it. You can't expect better for your children, and what a leg up she's had from American Idol, Got to hand it to them, The exposure is just incredible. And
not only were the performances great, but the way she stood up to that pressure and stayed true to herself, man, it was huge.
Yes, it is. I'm particularly proud of that. The fact that she can handle herself, even when people are being hypercritical of her, she doesn't lose it. She doesn't lose control of herself and who she is.
Alan, you got a great kid. You got a great family. Thanks for sharing with us.
Okay, my pleasure entirely.
CapeCast.